Hey everyone, welcome to the final video assignment. Thank you for watching. Looking at the website we were sent to, I was able to go through a few commentaries, but I came across one on implementing American Sign Language, ASL, into K through 12 schools. I selected this commentary. Really, the person made great arguments, not arguments, but just even statements. And I fully agree actually with what she was talking about, how a lot of the underprivileged community of the deaf students, or just the deaf community in general, don't necessarily get the traction they deserve, and even the inclusion they deserve. I have personal connections to the ASL community. Anyways, I think a lot of her main statement and her main argument was implementing American Sign Language as a language, a learned language, as much as Spanish is in the American school system, would get rid of most deaf communities' hindrances and heartaches. Hearing people would also benefit from this as well. The commentator also brought up children lack when parents, especially hearing parents. She brought up, actually, real quick before I get into that, 90% of deaf kids are born into hearing families. And so children who are born into hearing families, children lack when parents don't initiate learning language right away. And basically they wait on the technology, as in cochlear implants. If I'm saying that correctly, pardon me if I'm wrong, but it's the vital age of between birth and 5 years old is like the main language learning age. And so when parents wait that long for hearing impairment technology, it can hinder their language learning, their ability to learn language, and multiple languages at that. So those were a couple of her main arguments. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and just jump into the main assignment, which is discussion or presentation before some other people. So yeah, good evening, everyone. How many of you here know American Sign Language? Okay, only a few of you. It looks like maybe one and a half. I bring this up to bring forward an idea of implementing American Sign Language into our K through 12 language learning requirements. Let's see. First, pardon me, I have notes here. My first course of action to implement this would be to engage all stakeholders, administration, school districts, principals. I would also implement and gather a team around this idea, around this form of learned language, getting a team behind us, and as well as a research team to present and really fight for this to be enacted. So practically at schools, implementation would start them off in their language class they already have. And most elementary schools, not so much, but junior highs and high schools have Spanish classes usually. So bringing up the idea of doing SSL, which is Spanish Sign Language, in Spanish class, and then American Sign Language in kids' English classes. And so saving 30 minutes, or no, maybe not 30 minutes, but implementing some time frame of ASL into these classes. And if that's not possible, then if ASL can only be implemented in its own category of a learned language, it could be an elective, provided, if not already provided at the schools, so that students have a choice. But also that would take away from the implementation of it, though. And so combining it with a Spanish class where there are set aside times for ASL. Also I would bring up I would bring up inclusiveness as part of the implementation with the deaf community, having teacher and deaf student pizza parties or some sort of event to incorporate the deaf community, any students who have hearing impairments, to these events for interaction, not only so that they don't feel isolated, but also that we have translators there so that students can interact as well as learn new words, sentences, interactions with each other. Basically introducing the deaf community to the hearing community and hearing to the deaf. So, and then also talking about sensitive issues within these events, but mostly with other teachers, staff, and administration, having these discussions, even translators at student-teacher conferences, as well as council meetings. So these would be my forms of implementation. But yes, thank you very much, and I appreciate you all in this class. It's good to see some of the familiar faces again, so I'll see you next time.